everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name's Bobbie. If you don't know me yet, this is my best friend Sunny. She's going to be helping me demonstrate because I'm injured. Yeah, and I'm ready to do yoga because it's been a long day. You will need 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can use like a couple pillows or a couple blankets or a bolster just to prop up underneath the shoulder blades to give you a little heart opening for this first pose that we're going to be doing. And yeah, I would, since the first half of this class is yin, I would just grab as many props as you can, because having props for yin is good. So if you don't have like actual yoga props, like 2 blocks, you could use 2 books. Like I said, a couple pillows, bolsters, grab a couple blankets, just to have them around in case you want to use them. Yeah, so we're going to get started in supported fish. So you're going to do that by taking 1 block and placing it at the bottom of the shoulder blades on any height that you'd like. I like to do the medium height. And if you're not using blocks, you can just use pillows and place them underneath the chest or underneath the shoulder blades. And then the second block can go underneath the head, but you can, and this second block can be on a lower height or it can be at the same height as the one underneath the shoulder blades, or you can just forget about this one under your head altogether if you'd like to deepen the opening a little more or deepen the stretch a little more. The feet can be lengthened out long in front of you, or you can bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide. And then let the eyes close. Let the face relax. Arms can come up above the head to clasp opposite elbows to deepen the stretch in the shoulders. And begin to slow down the breath right away. Taking big, deep, even breaths through the nostrils. Allowing yourself to let go of whatever happened before you came to your mat and anything that might happen after. Allowing yourself to be completely present in this moment on your mat. With every inhale, really fill up the lungs all the way so that you can't inhale anymore. And then hold it. And then as you exhale, empty out the lungs completely. Maybe holding it for a second at the bottom of the breath as well. Just keep taking deep, even breaths, just like that. Notice any thoughts that may come to your mind and just let them go with each and every exhale. Allowing the mind to be clear, or as clear as your mind will let it. So today's class is all about the air element. And I thought about doing an air element class yesterday before I even knew that today would be like really windy in Milwaukee. So I guess I summoned the wind. So I wanted to talk about the Chinese, in Chinese mythology, the Chinese god of wind, Fei Lian. And yeah, I just found a little like reading about this god of wind. So I'm going to read that, something for you to meditate on. The Fei Lian was a remarkable creature in Chinese mythology, exhibiting 5 different animal species within its family tree. With the body and legs of a stag, it was as swift as wind gliding through its at its forest dwell with ease. I can't read my handwriting. A long serpentine tail balanced the beast's heavy head, resembling that of a sparrow, with gleaming white bull horns with stripes. Its elegant body was covered in golden fur and dark spots, rather like the pelt of a leopard. These beasts were not carnivorous, but they would kill any creature that threatened them. Like most Chinese beasts, the Fei Liang, also called Feng Bo, meaning wind lord, lacked wings, but was sometimes portrayed in flight, very similar to the lung. So we'll take a few more deep breaths here, sinking into your props, maybe feeling a little more centered in, grounded, or maybe even a little floaty since we're getting ourselves connected to the air element today. Maybe you feel light. And on your next inhale, start to blink the eyes open. You can release the clasp of your arms if you clasped elbows ahead. Bring the hands to the outer thighs and bring the knees towards one another if you brought the soles of the feet together and knees open wide. And then carefully roll over off to one side and remove the blocks and make your way up to a seat at the top of your mat or wherever you like to sit. Actually, it'd probably be best to sit the long way on your mat for the next pose. But for now, we're sitting up nice and tall in a cross-legged position if that's comfortable for you. If that's not, you can sit on the heels, sit up on a block, blanket, bolster, whatever's comfortable for you, however you can sit nice and tall. Bring the hands to the thighs, and we're going to do a little bit of pranayama practice since we're trying to connect with the air element. You really want to focus on the lungs and opening up the heart and breathing. So we're going to practice Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breath. So I can demonstrate at first. You're going to take the thumb and the ring finger, place of your right hand, place the right thumb over the right nostril, and breathe in through the left nostril. Pause at the top, switch, bring the ring finger over the left nostril and exhale out the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Pause and switch. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Pause, switch. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Pause and switch. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Pause, switch. Exhale through the right. And then just keep doing this at your own pace. Don't worry if you mess up the order or anything. Just try to find that order once again. Clear the mind. With every exhale, clear the energy channels. Using prana, or your breath. You can even take the index finger and middle finger and place it on the third eye space, if you'd like to. And the next time you exhale out through the right nostril, release the hands down onto the thighs. And just take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Notice if your nostrils are more evened out, more clear than they were before. And then from here, reach the legs out wide. Legs are nice and long, but you can relax them instead of engaging the muscles like you normally would in a Hatha or Vinyasa class. You can kind of remove the flesh out from underneath you. Sit up nice and tall. If you're having a hard time sitting up tall, you can place something underneath the sit bones. And if you have tight hamstrings, you can place props underneath the knees as well to give you a little bend in the legs. Inhale here, maybe just stay sitting up tall. Or maybe you start to fold forward. Reach the arms out in front of you, but bring the palms to face upward so you're not tempted to pull yourself forward. Instead, just let your breath and gravity do the work for you. Use your breath, your exhales, to help you release tension, which in turn will allow you to sink deeper in the pose as time moves on. On your next inhale, slowly roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. To sit up nice and tall. Bring the hands to the outer thighs and slowly bring the legs towards one another. And then we're going to come into saddle pose, as it's called in yin. And I'm just going to do half saddle. So if you'd like to do half saddle, you can do that and just switch halfway through. You're going to take both legs and bend them back to sit to the inside of the feet. So I'll turn around to show you. You just have both feet to the outside of your hips, and you can sit up on a block if you'd like, and kind of roll the calves out of the way. And in yin, you don't really have to worry about squeezing the knees towards one another. You can kind of let them relax where they relax too. And then you can sit up tall, or you can start to lean back. And then if you choose to lean back, you can also place some props underneath the spine, like a couple of pillows or bolster or block. And then once you've got yourself situated in your saddle or half saddle, and I'll try to cue you if you took half saddle halfway through to switch sides. I'm only going to do the one side. So from here, let the eyes close, let the face relax, let the belly relax. Come back to the breath. Allow yourself to find stillness and clear the mind of any thoughts with with each and every exhale. And if you notice your knees coming upward a little bit, that means you've gone a little too deep into the pose. So just back off a little bit by bringing the chest a little more upright. You want to make sure you find your edge, the balance between effort and ease, the point in the pose where you feel sensation, but it's not too overwhelming or too underwhelming. And if you took half saddle like I did, you can switch sides. From here, slowly blink the eyes open. Start to press into the forearms, tuck the chin in towards the chest, and press yourself back up if you lay down. Make your way. If you're in full settle, you can kind of come forward and come off your feet and make your way into to lying on your belly. Alright, so lying on your belly, bring the forearms out in front of you, maybe a couple inches in front of the shoulders, the elbows should be. Palms pressed down, tops of the feet relaxed, maybe even bring the feet a little wider than you normally would in a hatha or Vinyasa class. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Let the belly relax. Close the eyes. And quiet the mind. Focus on the breath. Hear the sounds around you. Try not to reach for them. Just hear them. Listen to them. But mostly hear your breath. On your next exhale, lower the head and heart down. Bring the hands above you in like a diamond shape and just bring one ear to the mat just for a couple breaths. On your next inhale, bring the forearms back underneath you, back out in front of you. Elbows a couple inches in front of the shoulders, back in your Sphinx pose. To deepen this pose, you can either bring some props like a pillow, a couple pillows or blankets underneath the forearms, or you could take seal by turning the fingertips slightly outward in each direction, pressing into the palms to lift the elbows up, and then walking the hands in as far as your body wants them to walk in. Let the hips relax down towards the earth. Let the belly relax. And try to find your edge, the balance between effort and ease. Find stillness in the body and in the mind. On your next exhale, lower the head and heart down towards the earth. Arms come overhead in a little diamond shape, and then just bring the opposite ear to the mat than you did the first time. And on your next inhale, make your way to hands and knees. From hands and knees, keep the hips up nice and high. But then begin to walk the arms out in front of you, melting the heart towards the earth in heart melting pose, puppy pose. And if this is too much for you, you can bring some props underneath the head or underneath the chest as well. You can either have the chin or the forehead on the earth or the chin and the heart on the earth. Just remember that we're going to be holding it a little longer than we normally would. So you want to find your edge. Let the eyes close. Relax the face and breathe. On your next inhale, start to walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And then carefully make your way to lie on your back. We're just going to come into supine twist for our last yin pose. So you can bring the arms out to a T, palms face up, or cactus arms if you don't have the space. Bring the knees at about a 90-degree angle, bend, press the belly button into the earth. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, gently let the legs fall over to the left side. Keep the right shoulder grounded. Maybe bring the left hand to the outer right thigh. You can have the gaze straight up at the ceiling or over the right shoulder if that feels okay on your neck. Relax the muscles. Close the eyes and breathe. On your next inhale, bring the legs back through center. And on an exhale, gently let them fall over to the right side. Keep the left shoulder grounded. Maybe bring the right hand to the left outer thigh. Maybe bring your gaze over the left shoulder. Close the eyes. Relax the face. Find stillness. On your next inhale, bring the legs back through center. Give the legs a nice big hug. Squeeze the knees in. Maybe start to rock a little bit from side to side. And then begin to rock up and down the spine a few times. And then as you're doing this, begin to land on one foot with the other foot out, sort of a pistol squat. And keep switching off legs if you have a second leg to do that with. And then the next time you land on your right leg, try and stay in your pistol squat and lift yourself up. So you're balancing on the right foot. Turn the left toes out. Either bring the left foot to the right calf or up to the right thigh. So standing at the top of your mat, press the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. That'll help you balance, really engage the core. Maybe bring hands to heart center, roll the shoulder blades down the back. Find something in front of you that's not moving to focus on, your drishti. Maybe lift the arms up overhead once you have your balance. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Then from here, bring hands back to heart center. Bring this left foot leg forward. Maybe straighten it for a minute. And you should be at the top of the mat. We just wanted to show you the front view. So, straightened out. Then start to lift that left leg, back into your warrior three. So left foot is about hip height. Arms can either be at heart center, behind you in airplane arms, or overhead if you have the space. And then from here, start to bend into the right knee and step the left toes back into your lunge. Lower the back knee down. You can pat the back knee if you have sensitive knees. And then from here, take an inhale to lift the heart. And then as you exhale, shift the hips back. Work towards straightening the front leg. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Lift the right toes up towards the sky. And breathe into the back of that right leg. On your next inhale, bend through the front knee, lift the heart. Plant the left hand down, inhale the right arm up towards the sky. You can stay here or bend the back knee and reach back for your back foot, coming into a little bit of a quad stretch. Wherever you're at, roll the shoulder blades down the back and spin the heart open. Take a couple deep breaths. And then release the back foot if you had it. Bring both hands to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes underneath. Lift the back knee. Hug the right foot in and then shoot it up and back to your three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe do a couple leg circles in each direction. And then straighten that leg, square off the hips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring right knee to right tricep, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, hug knee in towards your nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, cross it under, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend it back. And then from here, you can stay in your three-legged dog or move to your downward facing dog. You can either stay in your downward facing dog or move through your vinyasa with one leg lifted or with both legs lowered. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Inhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then from here, lower the knees to the earth. Moving through child's pose, so just send the hips back, but then walk the hands in towards the knees to come sit up on the heels. Move the hips off to one side so you can kick the legs out in front of you. And then bring the feet underneath out in front of you so that the knees are bent, soles of the feet are under the knees. Bring the arms out in front of you and slowly lower down onto your back. Now we're going to start to do the rock and rolls that we did before. So start rocking up and down the spine and then coming up into your pistol squats. Do a few of those, switching off legs. And then when you land with the left foot on the ground the next time, start to stand up from your pistol squat if you can. It's okay to use a wall or put the hands down if you need. Then bend the right foot, bring your foot to either calf or up on the thigh. Tree pose. Press the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Make sure to avoid the knee joint. Do not place your foot on the knee. It's really bad. Hands are at heart center. Once you found your balance, you can lift them up overhead. Vrikshasana, tree pose. On your next exhale, lower the hands back to the heart. Bring the right knee out in front of you. Maybe kick it out straight or working towards straight. And then from here, start to shift that leg back behind you. Shift the heart forward, warrior three pose. Hands can be at heart center, airplane arms, or out in front of you. Then on your exhale, start to bend into the left knee. Reach the right toes way far back behind you. Lower the back knee so that you're in your low lunge pose. Make sure the left knee is right above the left ankle. If it's coming forward in front of the knee, you can use your hand to help you walk the foot further forward. Inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, shift the hips back, half split, half Ardha Hamunasana. Working towards straightening the left leg, left toes reach up towards the sky. Trying to square off the hips by pulling the left hip back and the right hip forward. On an inhale, bend through the front knee, lift the heart. Plant the right hand down, lift the left arm up towards the sky. You can stay right here or bend the back knee. You reach back for your foot with your left hand. Spin the heart open, roll the shoulder blades down the back. Carefully release the back foot if you grabbed it. Bring both hands to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, hug the left foot in, and then shoot it up and back to the three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip, maybe do a couple leg circles in both directions. And then once you've done those, square off the hips, straighten the back leg, take an inhale. As you exhale, bring left knee to left tricep, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, extend it back. And then either keep the left foot raised or lower it and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths in your downward facing dog. Maybe take a few exhales out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, and either step or lightly hop to the top of your mat. Exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then from here, we're going to do some more balancing. So we'll start with balancing on the right foot. I'll turn to face forward. But you should be standing at the top of the mat. Really ground through the right foot. So maybe lift the right toes up, spread them nice and wide, and then lay them all down. Once again, so you have that nice base to stand on. Then you're going to hug this left knee in towards the chest. Try to find something in front of you that's not moving to focus on. From here, you can keep the left knee hugged in, or maybe you bring the peace fingers to the left big toe and start to straighten it out in front of you. Over the space, and open into the wall. All right. Try to keep the shoulders rolling down the back. Try not to hike them up towards the ears. And maybe bring the right hand to the right hip and bring that left foot out to the left. And you can do this with bent knees too. So the leg doesn't have to be completely straight. And then from here, bring that left foot back to center. Switch hands, so bring the left foot into the right hand. Left arm reaches back behind you. So you're in a little bit of a twist. All right. The balance should be good right now, but it's not. Maybe look back towards the left hand. Challenge the balance a little bit. Try to squeeze the muscles in towards the midline. That'll help you balance. And then from here, you're going to bend the left knee, bring it into the left hand, coming into a little bit of a quad stretch. Can't do that right now. Then from here, you're going to make your way into dancer. So start to kick the left foot into the left hand. Try to keep the heart up nice and high at first, and then start to lean the heart forward. The right hand can be out in front of you. And then on an exhale, release the back foot. But lower yourself into your standing splits. Okay. So lift that left leg up nice and high. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, start to bend into the right knee. Reach the left toes way back behind you in your lunge. Keep the hands around the front foot. And then just hug that right knee in. Shoot it up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend the right knee. Open up the hip. You can stay here, or maybe that right foot starts to get really heavy and fall towards the left side of your mat. Lift the hips up. Lift the heart up. Wild thing. It's okay if you don't make it to your wild thing. It's a hard pose and takes a lot of practice. If you made it to your wild thing, carefully make your way back to your three-legged dog. So everyone should be in three-legged dog, right leg lifted. Straighten that right leg, square off the hips, take an inhale. As you exhale, bring right knee to right tricep, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, cross it under. Inhale, extend it back. Either keep the right leg lifted or lower it and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths in your downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, step or lightly hop to the top of your mat. Fold over your legs on an exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sorry, inhale, rise to stand, arms reach up overhead. Palms come to heart center on an exhale. And then we'll just do that all on the other side. I'm going to sit this side out. So really ground through the left foot. Maybe lift the left toes up off the mat even. Spread the toes nice and wide. Yeah, left toes. And then hug the right knee into the chest. You can stay here. Or maybe bring right peace fingers around the big toe to straighten that right leg out. And you don't have to do that. You could even be here, bent, Try to keep the hips nice and square, shoulders rolling down the back. Inhale, open that right leg out towards the right. Once again, you can always have a bent knee if you need. And then exhale, bring it back to center. Switch hands, so bring the right foot into the left hand, reach it out in front of you. It can still be bent if you need. Right arm reaches behind you. Maybe look over the right shoulder, finding your drishti again to help challenge your balance. So many balancing poses. All right, and then reach yourself forward. Bring the right foot into the right hand. Just come into a little quad stretch for a moment. Bring both knees in towards one another. Lengthen the tailbone down. And then from here, reach the left fingertips out in front of you. Kick the right foot into the right hand. Start to lean the heart forward. Try to find your drishti.
I'm staring at this guy's nipple.
And then from here, just keep leaning forward, but you can release the right foot, up towards the sky into your standing splits. Try to square off the hips, really kick that right foot up. And then as you exhale, bend through the front knee and reach the right toes back behind you into your lunge. Just passing through the lunge. So hug that left foot in and shoot it up and back to your three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open up the hip. You can stay here, or maybe that right foot, it gets all heavy and stuff. And you land in your wild thing. Lift the hips up, lift the heart up. If you made it to your wild thing, carefully make your way back to your three-legged dog. Right leg. Wait, is it the right leg? No, that's your left leg. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it's really hard for me to tell. Okay. Straighten your left leg and square off the hips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, left knee comes to left tricep. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Cross it under. Inhale, extend it back. Either keep the left leg lifted or lower it and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths in your down dog. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, and step or lightly hop your feet to the top of your mat. Exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. All right, we got one more little flow. A little more balancing, but not as much. I'm going to try this one. I don't know if I can do it. So you're going to start at the top of your mat. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. I don't know if I can do this one. Inhale, stand up nice and tall. As you exhale, start to hinge from the hips. Just fold over your right leg. Make sure to flex those left toes to protect the knee and ankle joint. And then from here, start to bend into the right knee, come up onto the right toes in like a little squat, and start to balance as best you can on your toes. Maybe you can bring your hands to heart center. And sometimes for balancing poses, it makes it easier to do on a hard surface. So on a yoga mat, it might even be a little harder. So if you have a hardwood floor or just a hard floor in general, it's sometimes easier to step off onto the hardwood. All right, from here, bring the hands back to the earth, lift the hips up, so you're in your figure four fold. Slowly come back up to stand, lower the left foot down, and we'll switch sides. So cross right ankle over left thigh. Make sure to flex those right toes. Take an inhale. As you exhale, hinge from the hips. Just fold over the legs to start. Then from here, start to lower the hips down. Bend into that standing leg. Come up onto the left toes. Start to lift the heart, and maybe the hands or one hand comes to the heart in your toe stand. And then from here, bring both hands back down, lift the hips up to your figure four forward fold. And then come up to stand. Hands to heart center. Lower the right foot down to meet the left. And then make your way to stand on your knees. Not like, so don't sit on your knees, you're like just kneeling, I guess you would call it. Okay, so knees are right underneath the hips. Feet pointing straight back behind you. If you'd like, when I do this pose, I like to put a blanket underneath my knees, but you don't have to. I just have really sensitive knees. We're going to move into camel pose. So let's start by tucking the toes underneath. Bring the hands to the low back, fingertips point upward. Really roll the shoulder blades down the back and begin to lift the heart up. Tuck the tailbone underneath you. Then maybe the head starts to drop back. Try not to crunch the neck. And then from here, you could stay here, or maybe you bring right hand to right heel, left hand to left heel. Press the hips forward, lift the heart up. Ustrasana, camel pose. You can keep you can stay up on the toes, or if you'd like to deepen it, you can come to the tops of the feet. Take a few more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, bring the hands back to the low back. Start to tuck the chin and lift the heart back up. Sit back on the heels for just a moment. Really lengthen the tailbone down and engage the abdomen to neutralize the spine a little bit. And then when you're ready, make your way to lie on your belly. From here, bring the chin to the mat, arms reach back behind you, legs reach back behind you. On an inhale, we're going to lift the head, heart, and the legs, locust pose. Try to keep the back of the neck nice and long, so the gaze is out in front of you on the floor. Shoulder blades roll down the back, legs squeeze towards one another. On an inhale, try to lift up a little higher. Hold it on your exhale. One last inhale. Exhale, lower. Bring the arms above you in a diamond shape and bring one ear to the mat. Then bring your chin back to the mat. Reach the arms back behind you, and you can either move into locust pose again or bow pose. For bow pose, you're going to grab both ankles. I'm just going to come into half bow. Otherwise, you can do the pose we just did. So kick the feet into the hands, lift the heart on an inhale. You might find yourself rocking back and forth. Try to squeeze the knees towards one another so they're not splaying out towards the sides. And then exhale, lower. Bring the arms overhead in a diamond shape, and then bring the other ear to the mat. Then from here, make your way to lie on your back, so just roll over. Bring the arms out to a T or cactus shape. Press the belly in towards the spine. Bring the knees to about a 90-degree angle. Take an inhale. As you exhale, gently let the legs fall over to the left side. Right shoulder stays grounded. Left hand can come to the right thigh. Gaze can be straight up or over the right shoulder, as long as that feels okay in your body. Just take a couple deep breaths here. On your next inhale, bring the legs back through center. And then exhale, gently let them fall to the right side. Right hand comes to left leg. Left shoulder stays grounded. Gaze is either straight up towards the sky or over the left shoulder. Send the breath into the belly. And then inhale, come back through center. Give the legs one last big squeeze. Hug the knees in towards the forehead. Take an inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Release the legs out long in front of you. Arms down by the sides, palms face upward. Let the legs relax completely so the heels naturally turn in and the toes naturally turn out. Snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the back. Tuck the chin slightly so the back of the neck is long. Relax the face completely. Close the eyes and feel them sink deep into the sockets. Start to let go of any breath control, allowing your breath to return to its normal, natural state. And then I have something to read about Vayu, the Hindu god of wind. So I want to do the Chinese god of wind in Chinese mythology, because yin comes from Chinese medicine, yin yoga, and Vinyasa flow is kind of stems off of a traditional Indian yoga. So, Vayu is a primary Hindu deity, the Lord of the Winds, the father of Bhima, and the known spiritual father of Hanuman. You think Hanuman he's like a monkey god, and the splits pose is named after him, Hanumanasana. He is also known as Anila, which means air or wind, Vyana, which means air, Vata, which is airy element, Taruna, the wind, Pavana, the purifier, and sometimes Prana. You hear me talk about Prana a lot in yoga, which is the breath. I'm going to read the Vayu mantra, first in Sanskrit, so I'm sorry if I mess up some of the words. I'm going to try my best. I'm just going to say it, not sing it. All right. Om Sarva Pranaya Vidmahe Yashtisataya Dhimahi Tano Vayu Prachodayat. And that means Om. Let me meditate on the life-giving air, one who holds the scepter. Give me higher intellect, and let the God of the winds illuminate my mind. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana longer, I highly suggest you do. And if you're ready to come out, start by deepening the breath. And small movements to the fingers and toes. Circle the ankles and wrists. Then rock the head from side to side. Reach the arms up overhead, the legs out long in front of you for a nice morning stretch. Then hug the knees into the chest and carefully roll over to one side. Resting here for a moment. And whenever you're ready, try to keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze. And make your way up into a comfortable cross-legged seat at the top of your mat. Reclose the eyes if you opened them. Sit up nice and tall, taller than you have all day. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touch at the top. Exhale through the mouth, hands to heart center. Bow the chin towards the heart. And take a moment to thank yourself for carving this time out of the day to do something good for you. And I thank you for joining me. I hope you can take the benefits from tonight's class into the rest of your night, the rest of your week. Bring the thumb knuckles up to the third eye space. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hope you had a good class. Please follow Crux, the place I normally would be teaching at, Chiropractic, on Instagram and Facebook, and come visit them if you ever need to see a chiropractor. And please join me this week for my energizing Vinyasa on Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Let me know if you have any suggestions for any of my classes. Saturday's class will be Virgo themed. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, donate if you can. Everything's going to be donated to the Milwaukee Freedom Fund this week. Thank you. Have a good night.